Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. For our topic today, we will be talking about why your email marketing is failing and how to fix it right away. If you like the sound of that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. We are off to a good start here in the month. We're midway through, and summer's around the corner here in the States. And wherever you're tuning in from today, or whenever you get to listen to this podcast or watch it, I appreciate you taking time to be here. Appreciate you being part of our audience and part of my online family. So thank you. And just like Jethro mentioned, we're going to talk about why your email marketing is failing and how to fix it. And the reason I want to share this today is because there's been plenty of times where I have met with clients who, prospects or clients who said, oh yeah, we've tried email marketing, or we do email marketing, but it doesn't really work, or we don't get results from it. And that's really common, unfortunately. And there's some pretty simple reasons why that happens. One of the biggest things with email marketing is there's an ineffective mindset to start with, because as entrepreneurs, we're busy, we're getting a lot of information. An email that comes in, it means we have work to do, or there's a problem or a challenge or an opportunity we have to dive into. And so we often associate email with overwhelm or with something negative at times. And so unfortunately, if we falsely believe that we are our own audience, then we end up missing the boat and making big mistakes. And so I always remind people that if you think about email marketing as a way to have an ongoing conversation with your audience, just like you want to have an ongoing conversation with your spouse, your partner, your loved one, your kid, you're going to do it intentionally and consistently. And I always remind people of the example, like if you if you decided not to talk to your spouse except for once a month, your relationship would be pretty short-lived in most cases, because there wouldn't be any engagement, there wouldn't be any conversation, you wouldn't be feeding that relationship. Yet, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we mistakenly think that we need to not bother people on our email list, or we shouldn't email them too much. And so we actually starve the relationship, and then we wonder why we're not getting anything out of email marketing, and why we're not getting any good results from it, and why we're not building an audience. So the first thing to pay attention to with your email marketing is to realize that if it's failing right now, it's often because you have lack of consistency. And I always encourage people, at a bare minimum, send 2 emails a month, but really you're not going to start to see anything effective until you email once a week. And it doesn't have to be this long, overblown, difficult process. It can be something as simple as, here's what we're working on in our company here today, or here's what I'm learning, or here's new things that are going on. Because not every conversation you have with somebody in your life is this mind-blowing, awesome conversation. That's not life. Oftentimes, you're just checking in, sharing what you're doing, sharing what you're up to. And so emailing on a weekly basis at a minimum, and then ultimately over time, working your way up to doing a few times a week or even daily, will give you higher response rates. Because even like when we set up email marketing campaigns for our clients, we have phenomenal copywriters here. And so it's very common that we'll get a 20 to 40% open rate for some of the campaigns we're running. But even if we think about kind of on the lower end of that spectrum, where we're getting a 20% open rate, if you're emailing once a week and you're getting a 20% open rate, then you're only getting to a portion of the audience in week 1. But the second week, a different group of your audience will often open up that email, according to the stats and things we've seen. And then the third week, a different group, and the fourth week, a different group, and then by the fifth week, a different group of people. And over the course of the weeks, you can actually reach your entire list if you're consistent. And so rather than thinking that everybody is going to open every email you send, which I don't think anybody believes, or thinks a whole lot of anymore, realize that if you're consistent in sending, you will ultimately get a good portion of everyone on your list. And so lack of consistency is why email marketing fails, and is kind of a foundational thing. That's the first thing. The second thing that you can consider. And one of the reasons why email marketing can fail is when you have ineffective subject lines. People don't always think about what it's going to be like on the other side to be receiving that email, and subject lines should breed interest and curiosity and make somebody go, oh, I want to open that up. And so a couple emails we sent out today to our list. One was about robots. I'll actually pull it up because it was well written by the team here. And then we had another one that talked about how, we use some song lyrics, and there's just a lot of different ways for you to engage your audience and help them, be interested in opening the email. So one of the emails we sent this morning, the subject line was, what are you going to do about all these robots? And so if you want to know what's in that email, you can get on my email list at gabeswords.com, and you'll get that email that we sent today. And then another email we sent out today was, the subject line is, you can't always get what you want. And a lot of folks will probably know that is part of a Rolling Stone songs. And then we open up the email and it says, hey, Gabe, but if you try, sometimes you'll get what you need. And so there's a lot of ways to engage people with, effective subject lines, because an effective subject line makes somebody open the email. And then it's our job as marketers, as entrepreneurs, as the copywriters that are doing the work. It's our job to then deliver on the promise of the subject line. So if you go to gabeswords.com, you will be able to read that email. What are we going to do with all these robots? And you'll see how we deliver on the promise of that subject line. And so ineffective subject lines lead to people not paying attention. So if you put something boring in there, or if you reuse the same thing too much, there's some things in there that you want to test and see what gets people to engage and open my email. Because if they open your email and then you deliver on the promise of that subject line, then they will begin to trust you, and you can get them to click out and read your articles, to look at your offers. You can get them to reply back to you, and you can just feed and build that relationship. Email is a long game. You're not going to, if you start emailing your list today, you're not going to be a millionaire tomorrow. But with that said, I have a really small curated list of a few thousand people, and I typically generate around $250,000 a year from it. And so it's really highly effective if you're engaged and you continue to invest in that relationship. So lack of consistency is the first thing to fix. Start emailing on a weekly basis. The second thing is ineffective subject lines. Don't be boring. Get people to open up, from a curiosity standpoint, and then engage and deliver value and engage in the relationship and teach them things and just continue to show up consistently. And then the third thing that I see when I'm auditing campaigns or I'm looking at what a client's doing is they have either no or low calls to action. So generally speaking, in every email, you should have a link for somebody to click out and look at something you're doing or to read something. And you should teach your audience on your email list. You should essentially train them that if they want to get more good, valuable information, they should click out and get the rest of the information. And so if you don't have a call to action that says, click here to try this, or try this, offer, or look at this video, or read this article, or click here to contact us. If you don't have a call to action, nobody's going to do it. Other calls to action in emails can be, reply back and let me know what you're interested in. There's a lot of ways to engage people, but you want to get them to take an action. That's why it's called a call to action. And if you don't have that, then you're just teaching them to consume and not reciprocate any information or engage or, engage in the relationship. And so it's definitely something you want to keep in mind as you're creating email copy. And so again, the first thing to fix is lack of consistency. Move to emailing your list at least once a week. Even if they're just short updates or simple things, that's what we help our clients do. And it really just brings in, it increases the branding of their business. It increases the relationships they have with their audience. It's really important to email consistently. Second thing is to fix those ineffective subject lines. Put something that drives curiosity and interest and gets people to open and want to see what you're talking about. And then the third thing to fix is, put calls to action in and tell people what action you want them to take. When you do those things, you're going to be able to have effective email marketing that grows, and it, grows your impact over time. Because the other thing that we don't always think about when it relates to email marketing is every time you show up in somebody's inbox, even if they don't open the email and read it, They're going to see your name. They're going to, see your company. You'll be reminded of you. And so it's really simple and effective branding that goes into the inbox as well. So keep those things in mind. If you are stuck on email marketing, you want to get good open rates, good results, and have a strong strategy, reach out to us. It's something we love helping our clients with. You can reach us at businessmarketingengine.com. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday's show.